Third section, episode 7, The Burn on the Table. Last month we spoke a lot about the Ultimate Warrior because we thought we'd have a little nostalgic trip down memory lane regarding any fantastic retrospective on him. So we thought we'd carry on because it got a lot of views last month. So this month we thought we'd do Bret the Hitman Hart, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. As to whether that was true or not is a matter of opinion. So Johnny, Bret Hart, were you a fan, or did you think he sucked, or what? Or do you think he's one of these...
No, legend.
Legend?
Firmly in the legend camp.
Firmly in the legend camp. Why? I'm not wishing to put you on the spot.
Right, that's all I had to say, just legend. Just for the career, the things he done. The guy could actually wrestle. He could carry other people. You could SummerSlam 92 for evidence of that.
Jesus, yeah.
He can get great matches out of people. And I think it's kind of the tragedy, the way it ended. It makes it kind of hard to forget him as well.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean...
Although it should be forgotten about now, you still think...
Yeah, it should...
It was an unfinished chapter there at the end of that career.
Yeah, I think...
He had a bad 3 years pretty much, didn't he?
What, from leaving WWE?
From the back end of 97 to was it 2000 when he got his concussion. He had a bad few years with his brother dying in between, and then his mum and dad passed away, and he had a bit of a hard time. I know he got divorced as well, so I know he had a bit of a hard time, the Hitman did.
Hey, how many wives has Bret Hart had? Has he not just divorced his second?
Oh, I didn't know that. Was she Italian? I think.
Yeah, I think.
I can't remember.
Because I know. The one he had his son to. I think his son's called Blade, but I'm not sure. Anyone else back me up on that?
That's something that could be right, yeah.
I think that was with his first wife, because when they did the video about Bret Hart leaving the WWE, you know, the whole Shawn Michaels, the whole Shawn Michaels thing, that was his wife on there. And then on that DVD, the best for his best was the best for every week, he mentioned a different wife. So I don't know how many he's had before.
I think he might be on his... no, I'm not sure anyway. Forget about it. No, the best... Bret Hart really impressed me because I think Bret Hart was... when I got into wrestling in 1982, he was kind of intercontinental level. In the days when, as we're talking about just in part 2, you know, how building up people, it was actually worth something. You had the intercontinental title to build up possibly to a world title when it was kind of a...
He was in the tag team ranks for years.
Yeah, with Neidhart, with the Hart
pretty
Foundation.
Pretty good tag team as well.
Pretty damn good tag team.
Even Neidhart, he gets slated, but he wasn't that bad. He could still put a few...
Neidhart was good. They went really well together because Bret Hart was more of a, you know, scientific guy, and Neidhart basically provided the grunt and the power. So there's a tag team. And the beard.
He played a bit of a psycho Neidhart as well, which I quite like.
Well, he was cool. I liked Jim Neidhart. He was cool. And together, that's what makes a really good tag team. They weren't like carbon copies of each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
they were genuinely hard.
Yeah, there was a technical guy in the
there was a technical guy and a power-based guy.
They were heels from the early career,
yeah,
and they turned in '88 when they became faces in '88, and then they split up for a brief time in '89, gone to singles, and got back together again.
Yeah. And
then they split up again, obviously in '91 when Bret Hart went his own separate way and beat Mr. Perfect.
Yeah. And probably the first match I remember watching Bret Hart wrestle properly would have been WrestleMania 8 against Roddy Piper.
That was a good match.
It was an excellent match.
Was that the IC title match?
That was an Intercontinental title match where, yeah,
that was great at the time.
But there's a moment halfway through it, and I don't know, I mean, obviously it's Piper's action, but it kind of related, and as far as wrestling as storytelling goes, it's a really good moment. When Piper had the bell, and the referee was out, I think, so Piper could have just battered Bret with a belt, and then with a bell, and then crowned him and won it.
Don't forget Bobby Heenan's phrase. In times like this, what the hell used the bell? Was his very words.
Yeah.
That was his very commentary on it.
God bless the brain. What a man.
He's got to get a retrospective.
He's got. Oh, we'll have to do a Heenan one. Totally.
Yeah, that was the finish with he was in the sleeper hold. He kind of crawled up the ropes, kicked off, and
he did that whole flip
turnbuckle
over the top. That was
used
amazing.
the same finish as Survivor Series '96 when he beat Austin.
I quit watching wrestling.
Had him in the $1 Million Dream. Austin had Hart in the $1 Million Dream, did the same thing, flipped over the turnbuckle and pinned him.
Really? Yeah. Alright, I missed the whole attitude era. Just for those that don't know, I gave up watching wrestling after WrestleMania 12, and that's probably the worst
So you missed his best WrestleMania match, which was against Austin.
I
can see that now.
13. I've seen it since. Because I got the box
The double turn.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you've got the box.
The double turn, I got the Bret Hart box set. That's a really good match. Al doesn't like it. Remember,
I don't. I think
I quit match.
they're fighting the crowd too much. It's good near the end, but I think the start they've just stretched it by fighting in the crowd. I hate fighting in the crowd. It's not wrestling. It's just brawling. I don't know.
You know what?
I hear a Hogan thing coming up here. Yeah. Yeah, I thought. Yeah.
It's just I don't know. Even for two guys that good, you've got to take the shortcuts, haven't you?
Yeah, well that's it. I mean, it was always that match was designed to be a brawl. That was it. I mean, you had to show that Bret Hart can move away from technical wrestling and brawl with Austin, and Austin's like, you know, proper gutsy fighter. That was the character he was trying to put across at the time.
Don't forget, Ken Shamrock was a referee. I don't know why, but
yeah, randomly. Remember that now? Yeah, Shamrock.
It must have been some story when he was the only guy that could handle it.
Yeah, that was it. So it was a really well placed out match. That actually, really, you know, retrospectively, I didn't watch it at the time, obviously, because I started watching wrestling WrestleMania 12. Ironically enough, during the Iron Man match between him and Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels,
Not his best WrestleMania
which
match.
was awful. I actually quit watching wrestling for 3 years.
People brave about that match, but it's slow.
No, it's
The
slow.
Rock Triple H Iron Man match is far better than
Yeah,
that.
because was that like 6'5"?
Yeah,
They let the secret from it. Anyone since then, like 5'4", 6'5".
You could sort of, in retrospect, you know, when you were young, you kind of thought, oh yeah, it's just a really dull match full of wrist holes and this kind of stuff. When you look back on it, the political situation probably meant that neither man was willing to take the first fall. So that's why it was 0-0 forever.
I think they just went for they're so evenly matched and the suspense thing. I don't think.
Yeah, but the
It had
time.
been, was that the first WWE?
But for the first Iron Man match, I thought that was a very poor. The first televised one by the WWE, I thought was a very poor
Awful.
advert.
If it was half an hour, it might have been a bit more bearable. But the fact it took up like a quarter of the show.
Yeah, they only had a few, and the rest of the undercard stunk as well.
Oh, stank out WrestleMania.
Apart from Undertaker Diesel, which was.
Undertaker Diesel was good, man.
The Hollywood Backlot Brawl was alright.
Anyway, but yeah,
Straying away from the
would it not have been? Yeah, would it getting tangent? Clark, yeah, Clark and his tangents. The thing about the Iron Man match, you know, you could sort of just get across the same idea, but you know, Michaels was younger. Michaels could have been seen as the more inexperienced of the two. You could have had Bret Hart getting a 2-0 lead, Michaels fighting back to 2-1, and then Michaels with 2 minutes left to go, getting back to 2-2. But then in the last 30 seconds, having Michaels in the sharpshooter. So basically, if he taps in that last 30 seconds, a minute, then. Yeah, fair enough. You've cocked up the timings, haven't you?
Possibly. Well, we could stop it and just sort of do another part.
We could, yeah. We'll wrap it up pretty soon then. So yeah, they could have done it so much better.
I think you're saying about the politics. No one said, I don't want to lose a 2-0 lead. I don't want to look weak at the end. So no, I just think he went for the whole. They're so close, so equal, and
don't forget the ridiculous ending of when it has to have a winner. Can't end a draw. It has to have a winner.
That's American sport for you.
Well,
they don't appreciate draws.
Well, how much worse would it have been if it got to the end? He went, well, that's WrestleMania finished then.
No, that's WrestleMania finished.
It's 0-0.
Bret's getting back in his car. No, I do like Bret Hart. I was a big Bret Hart fan when I was a kid. And
yeah, the WrestleMania against Austin.
Yeah,
SummerSlam '92 with the Bulldog.
Bulldog was fantastic.
With Piper. The Owen Hart
Owen
tribute
Hart.
match with some other Canadian wrestler.
Yeah, Benoit. Let's just mention him. That's on the box set as well. That's amazing.
Mr. Perfect, SummerSlam '91. And King
Yep,
of the Ring
SummerSlam
91
'91 and King of the Ring '93. Against Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10,
WrestleMania 10,
probably the best
yeah.
opener of a card I've seen.
You can't forget that was a really good match. That was
Fantastic.
And he let his brother win, which was
Yeah, it was Owen
When he was
clean.
going for the title.
Like,
later
it's
in
like
the card as well.
heel, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Heels never won cleanly, and that's it. But no, respect to Bret Hart totally.